This weekend, Ryan is trying to find his bike, Andy is playing Lightkeeper, and we stack stars with Kirby. I'm Ryan,
I'm Andy.
and this is Weekend Rental, episode 218. All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode. Andy, how you doing? Survived Thanksgiving?
Yep. Currently still only have one Christmas tree. We put that up, so
Nice. I went for two. So
yep. Yeah, like I said, more at least 2.5.
yeah,
2 3/4.
yeah, that one tree I sent you a picture of is insanely massive to the point where, like, even on the upper level where we can reach the top, I still have to like rotate it to like fully decorate it. Like crazy. My wife is very happy about it though. So
Yep.
so yeah, all decorated. I still have some outside lights to do, but I've been putting that off because it's been cold. We got hit with a real snowstorm leading up to Thanksgiving, so we went from no snow to, I don't know what you got. I would say we got 4 to 6 inches on the ground at least.
Yeah.
So,
But it really messed with the roads, and it's still kind of not great. And
yeah,
it's not usually right now. It's like you kind of get days that at least approach freezing temps, and then the sun comes out and the roads melt or whatever. But it's like not even close to happening for the foreseeable future, it looks like. So
yeah. And I was looking at the forecast, and it's supposed to be like almost 0 here in a few days. I think we're gonna have a high of like 4 degrees, which is gonna be awesome.
yeah.
I know it screwed with a lot of people's travel plans. I mean, it was better by Thanksgiving, but I think if you had people who were coming from a few hours away, it was probably like one of those things where maybe not worth it. I mean, they closed interstate down, I think, in all directions from Fargo at one point during that storm. So
Yeah.
it's just a lot of freezing ice. Not a great situation.
No, there was trucks all over in the ditch apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. And there were like a bunch of pileups in town, of course. I saw some pretty good pictures of people like shooting, like, like a T stop and like overshooting, not stopping, like bucking over. I saw a picture of an SUV. They did that and flew over the curb on the opposite side off 45th and ended up in like a drainage ditch. Like the whole vehicle just like went off the end of it. So I'm like, yeah, that's unfortunate. And that's why I didn't leave the house those days. Because I was like, anywhere I go on these roads, I'm putting my life at risk. There's always that like first snowstorm where like everybody forgets how snow works and doesn't slow down, or they slow down too much, and that's the opposite problem.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun. Yeah, ate way too much on Thanksgiving. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Drank a fair bit too. Like I don't usually drink beer anymore. I drank like they had a beer up at my brother-in-law's place. Had like 4 or 5. I swear to God, like it just makes me full and bloated at this point. I just look like somebody like pumped me full of helium by the time I have a few of those. It's not worth it. I mean, it aided in the turkey farts, so that made me happy at least.
Yeah.
And my whole family captive, in the car ride, so I just tortured them. And my wife always gets so mad because she's like, "Why does it smell exactly like turkey?" I was like, "It's the best. These are the best farts of the year. Turkey farts rule." Sickening and appetizing all at once.
Yeah.
Did you? Oh, go ahead.
Do you usually have turkey twice?
Yeah, we do
for supper.
So, right. So it's always like turkey and ham, and then supper is just you make sandwiches out of the leftover turkey and ham. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
It's kind of the thing. And then a lot of lefse. A lot of lefse. A lot of apple pie. I didn't have to make my own this year, so that was good.
Yeah, we only had only one pumpkin pie, so I only got one slice, and I
mean, that's the right amount. One slice a year, right? Are
you
you a fan? You like the pumpkin pie?
I could sit down and eat a whole pumpkin pie.
Really?
Yeah.
See, like I can eat it, but like it would never be my choice to have it outside of a Thanksgiving holiday. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know what it is because I don't like pumpkin flavored stuff outside of that usually.
Sure.
And then even like a sweet potato pie is like, no, it's not the same. I don't like that. So it's
Must be
like,
the
I
nutmeg
don't know
and
what it is about the
spices.
pumpkin pie. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
And I assume
It's
you're
the
just doing
perfect
like the
blend, I guess.
generic, like dump from a can type. Like nobody's making it like straight out of like fresh pumpkins or anything.
Right. And well, could have been even bought. I don't even know. You know,
Oh
who
yeah,
knows? Like it's all the same stuff, right? It's
right.
I don't know if
Everybody uses the
anybody's
same
actually
mix.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If I got ice cream with it or whipped cream, I can do it. But it's never really been my thing.
Hmm.
They had like four different pies. I think there was a grasshopper and like a German chocolate. I didn't have any of that. I was like so freaking full by the time I ate done with my meal. But and then you're snacking the whole time up to that. So, did you do
Yep.
any Black Friday shopping or any online deals or anything?
I have a feeling a lot of board games are on my way, are
Okay,
on the way here. Um,
some good deals happening.
just periodic ones. I don't even remember what they are. Um, maybe a few video games, and I'm not even sure what those were even. Like Black Friday, especially, like does not seem like it's a thing that much anymore.
Yeah,
Well, especially like consoles. Was anything on sale? I don't think there was any deals,
no.
any discount on anything, right?
Everything I saw was like, well, if you buy the Switch 2 with Mario Kart bundle at the regular price, you save $30. I was like, that's not a sale. Like that's just the normal price. Like, what are we doing? Controllers I saw were marked down for most of them, not Nintendo, Xbox and PlayStation for sure.
Sure.
And then everything like the Nintendo deals that they had were good, but they were all first party Switch games, which I buy when they come out. So it's great that they're half
Yeah.
price finally, but I am not going to be doing that. So
Yeah, I think I had pretty much all of those too.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had booked the trip before we sold our house or did any of the moving or anything, so it was kind of like we weren't sure if we are going to do it, but we ended up going to Winnipeg on Friday. Because I was just like, oh, we'll just go do that. It was fun last time and putz around and come back and then, avoid the headache of Black Friday, which I probably should have used the internet. Turns out Canada does Black Friday and they do it hard. It is like how Black Friday was pre internet here. It is, I shit you not, like the hotel we got is on a frontage road next to a mall. It took me 10 minutes to go the 2 blocks I needed to on that frontage road to even pull into my hotel parking lot. It was people parking in dirt patches to get to this mall. It was bumper to bumper traffic the entire day to get in there. Like they go nuts. Like Black Friday isn't like that around here anymore because of all the online deals, but they actually had good prices. Like so it's an outlet mall to begin with. And then I would say like 40% of the stores in that outlet mall they didn't do like doorbusters. They're just straight like everything's half off today in the store. Like everything. So it was like
Oh,
crazy deals. Like the Nike store was all like a flat 30% off. And yeah, it was just like madness. I mean, the the amount of people out there. Everywhere we stopped had deals. It was kind of crazy. I wish I would have taken the time to Google that. Because in my mind, I just wasn't thinking that. I was like, well, their Thanksgiving's before. So clearly they would do sales at a different time than us, and they have Boxing Day. But it kind of makes
yeah.
sense, right? Like it's still right before their Christmas too. So, and I suppose like from a supply chain perspective globally, those companies are already shipping mass quantities of things to the United States. So they're already coming to North America. So it would make sense that you leverage the buying power and get better deals. But yeah, did not expect that. That mall was absolutely insane, like just crazy. And the whole town,
Huh.
Winnipeg, was just full of people.
I think doesn't Canada every once in a while do like a tax-free day or something like that too?
Oh, maybe, yeah,
Which
yeah,
I don't know if that's one of them, but yeah, that's
it's pretty
interesting
crazy.
because yeah, that there does not seem to be like the craziness in lineups at
No,
stores anymore for that stuff.
no, not here, but up there,
Hmm.
definitely busy. Like they had a queue for the Nike store for most of the day that was like 60 people deep. So we almost didn't
Jeez.
go because it was just like people waiting in line. I mean, the rest of the stores weren't that bad, but worked out good though. They had, got my kid a Christmas coat for like, I don't know, with the half off and the exchange rate, it was like, or a winter coat. Got him a full coat for like $25 or something US. So wasn't bad. My daughter bought a shitload of clothes. So then we went to IKEA. All of IKEA's deals though were locked behind their membership program, which I couldn't enroll in because they wanted me to have a Canadian address. So I didn't get any discounts on anything at IKEA. That's okay though. We didn't buy a whole lot.
Not even the meatballs?
Maybe the meatballs. I didn't check that part, but yeah. So that was an experience. It was good though. We had fun. Went to the same ramen place that we like loved the time before. Went back this time, and everyone just kind of agreed that it was like pretty mid, like just not nearly as good. So disappointed with that. But the brewery up there, the Trans Canadian Brewery, is top notch. I highly recommend stopping in there and getting a couple drinks and maybe a pizza if you're in the mood. They had good deals too. Like I think all their pizzas were discounted that weekend, and some of their off sale was discounted. So it was good. And got to go to Tim Hortons a couple times, so that's always fun.
Can you bring any of that back?
You have to like, you can bring like food products to some extent without declaring it, but like anything agricultural, you have to declare. I always bring beer back, but I think you're allowed to. I think it's anything under a liter, kind of like it is when you fly to the country. It's like you can take a liter bottle or a 6-pack of beer, and you don't have to declare it. So that's usually what I do. So they didn't stop us or check anything, so it was pretty smooth sailing. They probably asked us more questions going up than they did coming back, so, which is nice because usually it's the opposite, and the U.S. side is real rude.
At this point, you expect an ice squad coming out to your cars.
Right. Pete Hegseth drops in a helicopter and just kicks you in the face. Christy Nome shoots your dog. Okay, you're free to enter. Yeah, it was good though. Like it was a good break, obviously with all the house stuff we've been doing, and then it was nice just to like not be here and have an excuse to just relax. And the hotel has a really nice hot tub, so I sat in that for a couple hours with my kid. It was good.
Yeah, and I think you got it right because like that weekend obviously is traveling 2 places for family, and they usually hang out at the family and do all that stuff. So you're going the opposite way of most people and doing the vacation thing when most people aren't.
Yeah, that ways it worked out well. Yeah, and then you don't get roped into any of the family. Well, what are we doing this day? And then because there's all that stuff going on, like between the shopping and there's that like Kris Kringle market downtown in Fargo, so everybody wants to go to that all the time, and it's just like I just want a day to not do a damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what we did. So it was good. I can't believe though, like how much hotels cost up there with all the taxes and fees. Like I looked at my statement, and I think that night cost me like $260. It's just like that is an insane. Well, but the benefit is Hilton Honors decided to just gift me silver member status again for another year and a half. So I'm really jumping up in the world. I don't know what that gets me. I think Jack can shit, but
you didn't raise a stink at IKEA after you heard that news and say, "You're making a big mistake. I'm a Hilton Silver."
Oh yeah, go back. You need to let me enroll now. Yeah, I'm sure. It was probably my own fault. I probably should have redirected to the U.S. IKEA instead of the. I'm sure it was like a IKEA Canada that I was on, but whatever. It was fine. We only bought one thing that was on sale, so. Yeah, there was a ton of people at IKEA too because they were doing like a wheel that you spun if you were a member, and then you got to like win something. My kid wanted to do it. I was like, no, we're not waiting in line for that, man. Sorry. But
yeah, they should build one in Fargo.
Yeah, I think we're probably about 500,000 residents off from them considering to do that. Seems like they're pretty much like gotta have 1 million people or we're not going to build. But it would go over.
Is that how many people are up there?
Winnipeg's about 1 million, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
Okay.
500,000. It's quite a bit bigger than us.
Okay.
So, definitely on the smaller side of like cities I've seen IKEAs in, though, for sure.
Yeah.
gaming wise, trying to look at what. Oh, so about that Kirby Air Riders game, I probably only played like I don't know 4 hours of it. That game is way better than Mario Kart World. It is for a game that like auto drives and has one button. The fact that it's still more fun than what they did with Mario Kart is saying a lot. I'm not saying it's like the greatest racer ever, but it has an actual sense of speed. Like the tracks are super chaotic. Maybe you don't need to have 30 characters and endless running courses to make a game more interesting. Maybe you just keep it tight and action packed in 2 laps or 3 laps at the most and call it good. Like, I think there's something to that. So I was very pleasantly surprised with that. I went in with very little expectation. Obviously it's also produced by the same guy who does Smash, so I like that the presentation is very Smash, the announcer is Smash. That all feels really good and nice, and I like it. So that helps a lot too. I don't know how much I'll continue playing it, but it's just that thing of like I need something else to play on this Switch too, and this is the only other thing that they're putting out, so I'll buy it. The
Yeah.
amiibo for $50 a piece though are ridiculous. Like what in the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, that seems, I mean, that seems a limited scope of the type of people that want that in the first place, I would
Yeah.
think.
Well, and then when you're
So,
basically making it Skylanders where you're like swapping vehicles, like that's even worse than what a base
yeah,
amiibo is to me. But
yeah, yeah. That's you don't want to give them, you don't want to support that and give them ideas of expanding that type of thing to everything else again. That would
yeah.
be a nightmare.
Yeah, and it was one thing when those things were like $15, but now like even like the base ones are like 30. So it's like who can afford to, I mean, I was looking at Metroid Prime 4. If you're gonna buy Prime 4 and all the amiibo, you're dropping like $270. That is
Hmm.
insane.
That's for a game that seems pretty mixed from what I understand.
Yeah, I've read some pretty positive previews, but I guess we'll find out here in a day or two because it comes out on the 5th, right? Or the 4th?
Yeah,
4th.
I think so. Yeah.
And then, so I would imagine review embargo is up tomorrow. We're recording this on a Tuesday. Usually it's the day before release date. So
Yeah.
I'd imagine Wednesday we're going to start seeing some actual numbers. I have a hard time imagining, though, that it's not going to get overwhelmingly positive, like at least 8 out of 10s, because it is a
Oh,
Metroid
yeah.
game on a Nintendo console.
Yeah, they would have to really mess up in a way to get anything lower than that, I would imagine.
Yeah. It'll just be
Especially
nice
for
to
how
play
long it's
one
been.
with proper controls, right? Like just normal first person shooter controls is going to feel
Yep.
really good.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. There's, it's been out for half a year now, right?
Right. And we got Bonanza.
And we got Bonanza and I mean a bunch of stuff that is on the old stuff. Even Metroid is going to be on the old thing.
Yeah.
Kirby isn't, right? I think
No,
that's
Kirby is
Switch 2 only.
exclusive. Yeah. I don't think that's taking the needle for anyone. I mean, I would tell anyone that has a Switch 2, it's worth buying. But yeah, I don't know that that's like setting the world on fire or anything. It is a lot of fun for what it is, though.
I did pick up the Pokemon one
Oh,
and
yeah.
a few hours into that. It's interesting the way they do it. It's kind of a different system. It's all in one city, but it's sectioned off enough in kind of what you're doing that it makes sense, I guess.
Sure.
Um, but not too far into it, and I kind of dropped off of it a little bit. So,
It's tough this time of year, right?
hmm.
There's always something going on. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people playing that one. So obviously not for me, but I mean that's a good one as far as the Switch 2 is concerned. Are the graphics and stuff pushing anything, or is it still pretty basic?
It's definitely the best they've done. It's not cutting edge by any means, but I would say it's competent enough. Where some of the other ones have been laughable and very buggy.
Right.
I haven't seen that so much. So
Okay. Well, that's good to hear. Does it run at like a smooth 60 then too?
Yeah. I mean, I'm playing the Switch 2 version, so I
Yeah.
don't know what the old one is, but there might be
Yeah.
some of that going on.
I think that helps a lot, like having a solid frame rate. I think that's what really helps Kirby Air Riders is like that game runs buttery smooth, which is, not something you're used to on Nintendo consoles. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I really wanted to get the Sonic Crossworlds thing, but I can't quite jive with how they have released that thing.
yeah, it needs a physical yet. And that's not even coming till like February, right? And by the
Yeah,
time
well, on the Switch, I don't even know if the Switch 2 version is out yet.
oh, I thought it was, but I mean, I know they were doing a physical. They said in February sometime, but at that point, like I've already seen the prices on that game down to like half off. So it's like,
Yeah,
are you going to
it's going to be
release the Switch 2 version and like a week later it's going to be heavily discounted? So who's buying it at launch?
right. Yeah, because they released the Switch 1 version in October, I think, or
Yeah,
something like
I think it
that.
was day and date. Yeah,
And that was physical.
yep.
And then the Switch 2 version is coming digitally. Like maybe it's out now. It's around now. I don't know.
I
And then yeah,
downloaded the
the
Switch
physical
One
version of it.
demo just to like tide me over until like I can get a proper version of it. But yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
Maybe they didn't get enough dev kits or something. I don't know what the
yeah,
issue would be
it's
there.
weird.
I don't know that I don't think it was as good as I was hoping for. I think Transformed I feel like might have been my favorite still based on the little I played of the demo, but I did like it
Mm-hmm.
a lot. It felt it felt better than Mario Kart World did to me in most of the ways, so I think that says something.
Yeah, I guess I don't expect it to be earth shattering. I guess.
Yeah. So many kart racers in such a little time this year. It's crazy.
Right. And I think, yeah, I think you end up just dropping off of them pretty quick anyway, because it's like there's the novelty of just the whole genre in general. It's like, yep, I got it.
Yeah. Yep.
I just remember when they did the Crash Team Racing thing, I was pretty excited about that coming out, and I played maybe once. It was like, well, yep, they did it.
Yeah. Bad Company, is that the game Bad Company you've been playing?
Could be the band. That's another. That's a
Oh, that's a
band.
theory too, yes.
It's actually a board game.
Ah.
Um,
I was wondering why you'd be playing a very old video game, but that makes sense.
Bad Company is a board game where you set up your team of gangsters, and you take two sides of a board, and they make a clever, funny name for your gang. And then it goes from number 2 to 12, and you roll 4 dice, and you pair them up into two different pairs, and then you get the bonuses for whatever's on those numbers that you're picking.
Gotcha.
And then there's a cop chase. There's a couple other things. You can upgrade your guys. And it's funny because you have the bottom half of them on the board, and then you just keep laying the top half of the card. So if you keep upgrading them, their torso keeps getting longer and longer. I think that's my favorite part of the game. But also, when you roll, everybody else gets to choose one of their numbers and activate one of their gang members on theirs. So I think that's kind of the funnest thing about modern board games is it really keeps everybody engaged
Sure. So you're not just waiting for like
all
eight
the
people around
time.
the table. Yeah.
Right. There's no such thing as like turns a lot of times where it's like even when it's not your turn per se, you're still getting something happening. So
Sure.
it's crazy to think that, as a kid you played a lot of games where it was like if you got last place, unluckily, you just sat there and watched the other people
Right.
just play the game then.
Like everyone's slowly walking away from the Monopoly table over the course of the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not many games anymore where players get like eliminated from the game anymore. Usually it's
Mhm.
some sort of score at the end and you find out who won or whatever.
Yeah, it is true. Like all the classic games like Trouble, Sorry, like you could have a real bad time for a long
Yep.
time. Or not a long
I
time, depending on.
I guess it was nice for, if you had younger brothers who you didn't want to play for very long. Obviously, they weren't
Right.
very good at it, so they were out of the game and they left, or they flipped the board over because they got mad about it. But
Right. Yeah. Well, that sounds interesting. You've been playing that on your new board game table too, I suppose.
yeah,
Taking advantage of
trying to
that.
do definitely board game season now. So been
Yeah.
playing a lot of board games.
Yeah, we're trying to get back into that too. I just get all my stuff unboxed and put in the cupboard so we can actually get at them now. So
Yep.
yeah, I did the Five Below hunt. They didn't have much in for Christmas, so usually this is when they like get lots of cheap board games. But I found like a Nightmare Before Christmas like card based strategy game, so I bought that for 6.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see how that works out. I haven't opened it yet.
Yeah. The last time I went there, I think they should have renamed to Six Below because it
Oh yeah,
seems like
everything's up, right? Yeah, the base price is like 6 on like damn near everything at this point,
yep.
or more. But yeah, well, I watched a movie that was unexpectedly great. So we were just like going through our Plex server, seeing what was on there, and then I saw there was like Black Phone 2 that had just been released this year. And I didn't know what it was. Never heard of it. And then we saw that the first Black Phone was on there, which came out, I guess, in 2021. Um, Ethan Hawke is the main bad guy, although you never see his face. So I don't know that it matters. But that movie, and it's a Blumhouse production, might be one of the greatest horror drama movies I've ever seen. Like, it is so well thought out and self-contained, and like it's shot in kind of like a retro style. I think it takes place in 84 or 87. It's kind of like the whole thing like when we were growing up, where it's just like creepy man in a van kidnaps kids, right? Like it's the thing that like we're all warned about, and like the media was all, and it's that.
Yep.
But then like, it kind of follows these two kids, siblings, who have like a dysfunctional family life and like a drunk dad, and then the one kid ended up being a victim. But what really makes it interesting is like you find out that both of these kids like have inherited paranormal or psychic abilities from their mother who is deceased, and that like plays into the story unfolding in like a super smart way, where like the kidnapped son is communicating with the deceased victims, and they're like giving him tips, and then at the same point his sister's having like visions in her dreams and like trying to direct the cops. So you've got like this whole like really smart intricate build up to the conclusion of this film. And I don't want to say too much more than that because I think everyone needs to watch it and experience it, but it is fucking great. I can't believe I never heard of it. And then we watched the second one. Just pretend that doesn't exist. It's just sometimes when you make a perfect horror movie, you just leave it. You don't need to do the second thing. So I would just not watch that one.
Okay.
But Black Mirror or Black, when they say phone,
Black Phone.
Black Mirror,
Yeah.
Black Phone is incredible for anyone who's interested in that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And it's not like overly gory or overly spooky. It's just like a really awesome story with some cool like paranormal elements. So highly recommend. And the child actors are actually really good, which is rare in a movie like that. The kids pull it off, for sure. But they really do in this one.
Huh. Yeah, when you have that type of story, you try and wrap it up, obviously, in the movie.
Yeah, and
they make a second one after that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I mean, yeah.
And they got the nice thing with the second one is they at least got the entire original cast back. Like your main siblings are back, Ethan Hawke's back, but it's just like it didn't need to happen and it felt forced. And it's essentially just, and even my son even said, he's like, this is just Nightmare on Elm Street. And I was like, yeah, you're right. This is just Nightmare on Elm Street. Like they didn't need to do this. And in itself, it's not an awful movie. It's just a complete disappointment from what the first set, as far as the standard. So very forgettable.
I'm gonna watch the first one though.
Yeah,
That sounds
I
good.
think you'd love it. What is Marvel Cosmic Invasion? Is this a board game or a video game or a comic?
This is a video game.
Nice.
Um, the people that did TMNT Shredder's Revenge beat 'em up.
Oh, okay.
Their
Yep.
next game is like a Marvel beat 'em up, and that just came out on Game Pass yesterday, I think.
Okay.
So I played it a bit tonight, about 5 levels, and yeah,
Nice.
I mean, it's the TMNT
Yeah.
game reskinned,
So you've got like
definitely, but
four
it's
players. You can do online campaign,
yep.
all that good
You
stuff.
can switch. You can pick two characters, which seems like there's probably maybe 20 altogether
Okay.
with unlockables, and you can switch between them, kind of tag in and out.
That's
Um,
cool.
there's some powers you can do like together, almost like
Okay.
a Marvel vs. Capcom type thing, which is
Did,
cool.
did they balance out like the OP like special meter from TMNT, or is it still just like way too generous in that?
It takes quite a few hits to regenerate
Okay.
the special meter, I would say.
That was my biggest complaint with that TMNT one was just like I was just waiting for my timer to like my cooldown to like go away to
Yeah,
attack anything.
yeah. I think you have to land hits for it to regenerate,
Okay, that makes more sense.
and then it's a certain number. It's not too long, but I mean, if you clear a screen, you might have another one, maybe 2 screens. Probably you get another one.
Okay. And same art style and stuff, kind of like that retro throwback or
Yeah, and it's definitely like aimed more 90s Marvel too. The art style of that, and it's definitely trying to get a lot of the 90s X-Men beat 'em up
vibes.
vibe to it,
Yeah. I mean those are the
which is
classics,
good.
right?
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty good. Thing is, it's a beat 'em up, so I'm already halfway through the game, and then
Right.
I don't know if I'm going to go back. They have level ups, and then they do different, you get bonuses and stuff like that, but I don't know if it really has much replayability.
Yeah. That's the tough part with beat 'em ups at home, right? Like you don't have the quarter paywall to like make you
Hmm.
return, so it's like unlimited continues. Usually, you blow through it once. Maybe you'll play it again with like a couple people, but
Uh, my wife and my son hit a game over. They were on the
oh
boss, and they
really?
both died, and yeah, it kicks you out of the level when you're
Huh.
done. So
That's kind of cool.
yeah,
So it makes you at least try a couple runs. Because the turtles one, I feel like didn't do that, right? I feel like that was just like I never
yeah, I don't
struggled to
think
get through it.
so. I don't think so. Either that or it was easy enough, like you said. It was a lot of hit the
Well, yeah, a
superpowers.
lot of superpower. Yeah, no, that's cool. That sounds
Because
fun.
those bosses, a lot of times you would just wait for you'd figure out their pattern and just sit there in a specific spot that they weren't going to hit, and then
Mm-hmm.
wait.
Then when you have four people playing together, you're just like rotating it out, so you're constantly just destroying everything. Yeah, no, that's cool. I didn't. This wasn't even on my radar, so I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, even everybody involved tonight was having a good time with it, which is usually, you know, oh, Dad's playing an old video game again, but they were having
Right.
fun with this one. So
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, I need to get my 32 and change a month out of my Game Pass. So
yeah,
I just saw my bill come through for like the auto PayPal deduction. I was like, God, is it really like 32? I think it was like 32.61 or something.
3260. Yep,
I was
yep.
just like, God, it seems like a lot. Like I knew it was going to be that much. It's like when you see it, you're like, fuck. I don't know if it's worth it.
I definitely have been. I've played that. Played some of Crew Motorfest, which is just Horizon. I can't believe
Oh, really?
they've straight up stolen, like, we're in Hawaii for a music festival and you get to drive around Hawaii, and it's like it's sounds like another game series.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like there aren't
But the
enough
other one
driving
was
games.
Clover Pit, which is a roguelike slot machine game.
But this is an Andy game for sure. Then.
Yep, you're stuck in a room um with a floor that falls that opens up and you fall to your death if you don't meet the quota. So you need to gamble and hit the slot machine to meet your different levels of quotas until you find a key.
This is Game Pass also?
Yeah. I think I'm done with it though. I played it for probably 2 or 3 hours. I think I got one good run out of it. I got the key and I opened up an unlockable thing that you can save something. But I don't know if there's not too much more interactivity to it because it is really just like a slot machine giving you,
Sure.
it's just random stuff. You're just buying like the bonuses that trigger different things, right?
Right.
So it's not like Balatro where you feel like you're the one in control.
Yeah, I suppose. And if they're not having like dangling something significant for a successful run, then yeah, probably
Yep.
doesn't make sense to have a lot of legs on it, or it's not going to have a lot of legs on it, I guess.
Yep.
So you're just like spamming one button, essentially just gamble as fast as you can.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I could see maybe a couple hours.
Still
of that
better
being
than
enough.
DraftKings, I suppose.
Well, that's true. But you could win real money there, Andy. Or all
There's
those
still a pit
apps that
underneath me.
yeah, my dad, like, because I'm sure you've seen them too, like all those like cable commercials that are like, download this app now, win like $200 a day from home, and it's just, and it's like, how does that work? I'm like, it doesn't, dude. Like they're just trying to scam old people. Like
Yeah.
whatever you do, do not install these apps. Like,
Yeah.
they're selling your data to China at the least, and they're stealing money from you for sure if you play. So
Yeah. The crazy stuff now is like the prediction markets. Have you seen that stuff? Where it's just like you can bet on like who's going to win New York. You can bet on who's going to be the next Federal Reserve chairman. And it's like, what are we doing here?
who knows who half those people are?
And it gets so granular and crazy on some stuff that it's like, how do you even control like inside information on any of this stuff? Because
That's kind of wild.
I can't believe it's legal, but
Probably not. It's probably very questionable. What a game's been. Oh yeah, I did. So I did play another game. So this is actually a Black Friday thing. I don't know if it was Humble or Fanatical. I want to say it was Fanatical. Had a really good bundle, and I was looking at it, and then realized that one of the games included was Turbo Kid, and I was like, "What the fuck? There's a Turbo Kid game?" And then I realized that it was also on Switch. I was like, well, of course, I want to have it portably. So I bought that game today. It's $20. It's a Switch version, not a Switch 2 version. There isn't one. There's a physical coming out, but it's like $50, and I'm not doing that. And yeah, it's a straight up continuation of the story from Turbo Kid, and you play in like a Metroidvania style game. It's kind of, I would say, graphics are like 90s era PC RPG sort of graphics. So it's not like high fidelity, it's pretty grainy, or maybe like some of the indie games that were coming out in that style maybe 10, 15 years ago, where it's like pixel art, but it's like super grainy and like not high detailed and pretty zoomed out. But it fits with the aesthetic of what Turbo Kid is. So I've been sinking some time into that. I rewatched Turbo Kid leading up to it because I was like, I just should do that. And yeah, it's cool. It's you can pick your character. You can play as either the Turbo Kid or why am I blanking on
her name?
His companion. Yeah, and she's got a whole separate story. So I think it's two distinct campaigns. But I'm starting off obviously with the Turbo Kid. And yeah, you wake up or you start the game and you're riding your bike and it's like the literal ending events of the film where the guy's like congratulating you on finding the water and you're like, yeah, I'm going to go see what's out in the wasteland. And then you're off and you crash your bike and now you're recovering your stuff in a very Metroidvania way because you got looted after you crashed. So you got to find your bike, you got to find your machete, you got to find your power up for your power glove. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be pretty good, and it's pretty gory too. Like just the amount of like visceral blood that explodes out of enemies as you kill them is pretty satisfying and on par with that movie.
Yep.
I will say I don't think it's fully optimized or super polished game, at least in the Switch version. It did crash on me once using a warp point. Like it just complete fail, like report bug fail, kicked me out. And then there's been some stuff where like button prompts break and like don't work with NPCs. So I've had to like close out a couple times already, and I'm only like 2.5 hours in.
Hmm. I
Um,
wonder if it's older because did it come out when the movie kind of came out as a
so it came
side
out in
thing?
2024. It's actually
Oh,
pretty
okay.
new. Yeah, pretty new. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm excited about it because it's Turbo Kid, like anything Turbo Kid, obviously. I would love to have the physical of it. It's just not going to happen. So I figured I need something to play on the Switch too. So I
Boy, are they thinking about making another one?
so that's what I read was like this was coming out because they were like starting production on the second film, but then I looked on the internet and there was like nothing conclusive. So I don't
Hmm.
know that they're actually ever going to get a second film off the ground, but seems like it's been too many years since that came out for that to at least have the original cast. He'd be like turbo middle aged man, you know what I mean? Doesn't have the same
Yeah.
ring to it.
I think there's starting to be some fatigue on that amount of nostalgia
Yeah,
cramming into things.
yeah, yeah. No, it seems good though. Like, and a Metroidvania is like the perfect style of game for something like that. So I'm just excited to see where it goes and like the story. So far, it's actually pretty difficult. You can
Hmm.
get like basically hit and killed by virtually any enemy that I run into if you don't play it smart and die in a couple hits. So
Hmm.
see if that gets better as I power up more. But I still have not found my bike yet, which is pissing me off because that seems like it's
Hmm.
basically the morph ball mechanic to get you into certain places. And I've found some pretty sweet jumps that I can't ride yet. So itching for that.
Huh. So it's mostly just you running around jumping type of
Mm-hmm.
thing
Yep.
for
Jumping,
now. Okay.
killing. Yeah. I got to a boss fight that I've died like 3 times on again because in pretty much insta death, and I just can't figure out what I'm doing wrong. So I put it down for tonight. But it seems cool. I'm gonna sink some time into it. And from everything I've read, it's not super long, maybe like 8 to 10 hours. So
Hmm. Okay. That's crazy. Wow.
yeah, it is crazy. I was like, I can't believe I didn't know this came out, and I can't believe this came out last year. So
Yeah. Huh.
yep. Then the only other thing I had was, did you sit down and watch the first half of Stranger Things season 5?
I haven't had a moment to see any of it yet.
Okay. Yeah, so we managed to cram it all in. I think there's only 4, maybe 5 episodes. They're all like an hour and between 50 minutes and an hour and 10 minutes or so. Um it's so jarring to like watch this with like these 23-year-old people that are in high school still, and they're supposed to be like not just in high school but like not seniors presumably.
Yeah.
Maybe they are, I don't know. So but I just keep telling myself like it's an 80s movie, so everyone's 30 that's in high school, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
um yeah, it was really, it's been so long, right? Since like, it's so much time in between seasons, and like the recap really didn't fill in my mind all that much. But I think I kind of followed along. It's good. Once you get past the point of like everyone's now in their 20s, it kind of the, the midpoint conclusion comes to an interesting space. And I didn't see the evolution of the character in the way that it looks like it's going to shape up. Someone you wouldn't expect, maybe. But yeah, I'm curious to see
Hmm.
the conclusion of it. I just kind of want to wrap the thing up more than anything. But all the episodes are pretty good, pretty action packed. Hawkins is like a complete like quarantined, lockdown, military controlled uh, place in this season. Like literally, it's a military zone that none of the inhabitants can exit or no one can
Huh.
enter into. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's good. I I'm kind of glad that this is the last of it.
Yeah,
Um, because
I concur.
I'm running out of steam on it. Because
Yeah.
like you said, every time I come back to it, I was like, what's going on? I don't remember anything
Hmm.
because it's so long in between them.
Yeah. I actually went and looked at the timeline again because I was like, how did these release? And like, yeah, it was like season one, 2016, season two, 2017. It was like 2019. And then it was like a 3 year gap because of the pandemic. So it was like 2022. And it's just like, God, that's so drawn out.
Yeah, and now another 3 years for the last. Huh.
Yeah. And I saw they're going to do like a thing where the final episode is going to be in theaters and it's like a 2 hour and 20-minute runtime. And they'll run it in the time at or after the time that it like goes live on Netflix, and nobody can like get spoilers out there ahead of time. But of
Mm.
course, it's like a limited thing of like 350 cities or theaters. So I looked, and there's obviously not one anywhere
Mm.
near us. So I guess I'll just watch it at home. It would have been cool to kind of see that in the theater, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Hmm. Yeah, that's wonder what they're gonna do after that. That's kind of been Netflix's cash cow merchandising
Yeah,
palooza.
I think I heard something about like an offshoot series or like an animated series or something, but I think maybe you just leave it alone. I don't think anything will capture the success of that. You know,
What if Sam and Dean hear about it and then they come to Hawkins and then
well, that would be cool. It would be cool. We could start a whole new supernatural spin-off series. Yeah, I'm still been waiting for them to announce a return. All we're getting is the comic book series, though.
mm-hmm.
I just want Supernatural back.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, is that I think that gets us to staff picks, huh?
Yeah. I'm interested to know what yours is because it could be
Oh, it could
a
be a lot
hundred
of
different
things.
things.
Yes. So one of my favorite albums or EPs of all time.
Hmm.
It's the Devil Wears Prada Zombie EP. That I think it came out right at their height, like between their two biggest main albums. They dropped this EP, and it was like, the lead singer was like very into like Max Brooks's Zombie Survival Guide, had been reading the Walking Dead comics. It's actually released like 2 months before the Walking Dead even premiered on TV. But it was like hype zombie everything in 2010, right? Movies, TV shows, pop culture. And they released this EP, and I love it. And it just got remastered and repressed on vinyl. Um, they did like a Zombie 2 EP 3 years ago that I got on
Hmm.
vinyl, and that's good. But nothing that like touches this one as far as just like a 5 song 30-minute EP that is just like straight stages of like taking the listener through a zombie apocalypse, and it's just like so devastatingly brutal, and there's just like interludes with like radio clips and like gunfire and zombies, and like it's just like a masterpiece of like metalcore, like just devastatingly heavy, pretty, like if you just close your eyes, like I don't know why they didn't just like do like a 30-minute video that this thing ran on top of, because like it is so good at like capturing that mood. And yeah, I found it reissued, so I got it, and it's still so fucking good. I listened to it a couple times already, but highly recommend it if you can tolerate heavy music. I guess it's not for everybody, but it sets a very clear tone and it just nails it. Like it's the perfect EP, I think, in my mind. Like just the vision and what they did.
So it's almost like a concept album
Yeah,
for the most
yeah,
part because it's
and
the whole
it's
thing.
like
Yeah.
it like kind of takes you through. Like starts out like you know the plague unleashed, and then like just their survival, and like the ending is just like you're the last one surviving, and like everyone's dead, and I don't know.
Huh.
It's I mean the words you can hear anyway. It's mostly just like
Yeah.
incomprehensible screaming. There's very
Yeah.
little clean vocal on it, which is probably fine because if you've ever listened to the Devil Wears Prada and seen them live, you'll know that their clean vocalist is probably the worst singer I've ever heard in my
Oh,
entire
really?
life live. He's just awful. He's like auto tuned and like pitch perfect on their like releases, but if you listen to them live, he's a disaster. So
Huh.
the songs that don't feature him as heavily hold up better when you watch a live show or something. But yeah, it's very good. It is super dark and super good. There's like all sorts of good themes and like references and kind of callbacks to like some Romero films and like some of the music in that. And
Hmm.
yeah, lots of breakdowns and crazy stuff. Again, totally not for everybody, but for me, it's one of my favorites.
I was watching a YouTube video about why that there's like nobody that's popular in metal, like as far as Spotify.
Right.
Like it's all the old people that you would expect still. That is like the most listened to. There's a few outliers,
Yeah.
but it's kind of crazy that there's nothing new. I mean, I think the most popular one right now is Sleep Token, and I
I
don't
don't know
I
what they
don't
are
vibe with
even.
them.
No.
Yeah.
You can make the argument for like Bring Me the Horizon is massive on Spotify, but then
They're
you
probably,
realize,
I think they were the biggest one
yeah,
other
but
than
then you
them and
realize
Ghost,
like
I guess, but
they're 25 years old now. Like that band has existed, so it's like they're just a legacy band too. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, guitar music and metal music is definitely falling out of favor. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is because I mean, obviously, the discoverability and that type of stuff is totally different than just radio play it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So is it just good rock music just doesn't have the publicity across online for it? I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, and like it's funny too because like its last big boom, like when metal and rock was big, was all kind of like the underground MySpace scene, right? It was like bands that never really actually were on radio anyway, for the most
Hmm.
part. So it's like it never surged back out of the underground.
Yeah,
I mean, you got Poppy, I guess, right? She just on like Kimmel not that long ago.
yeah.
I don't know what I mean, obviously she's metal now, but like
Hmm.
the whole background of that character is insane.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
So
It's
what is your staff pick here? Are you playing goalie? Or are you
oh yeah.
trying out for
Um,
Hogwarts?
this is a video game. It's in the genre of the ones that you play as a lighthouse.
Oh,
It's just another one of those games.
so you're a lighthouse keeper, and that's where they get the name from.
uh, you're this is a Double Fine game that recently came out for Xbox. And you are literally a lighthouse that comes to life, and you walk
Oh,
around as a lighthouse.
you're a
And
literal
there's
lighthouse.
yep.
Okay.
You
Why do
got
you
like
walk?
vines coming out as legs.
Okay.
Um, there's a bird that's your buddy that hangs out on the top of kind of on top of you. Um, and that game goes to some really crazy places. As you could expect, a Double Fine game is kind of has that type of stuff to it. This one doesn't, it reins in, it doesn't have the comedy part to it. Um, but it has kind of that weird-ish art style that like Psychonauts kind of has.
Sure.
Not like the gross griminess of Psychonauts, really. But
Like that, like
it's more of like
pseudo
an
cell
art,
shaded. Yeah.
like a very artful version of that.
Okay.
Um, and it is a little bit of a walking simulator type thing where they're trying to be like, look how beautiful everything is type of thing.
Sure.
Um, and it, but the gameplay itself is a puzzle thing where you have to figure out a puzzle how to do. It's usually a set of three. You got to collect three things from unlock doing a puzzle three times, unlocking this, and then you go to the next area type of thing.
Sure.
Um, but the different phases that you go through. Spoiler: you are not always a lighthouse.
Oh,
Um,
you're a transforming lighthouse.
yeah. And it really ramps up the puzzles in a pretty intricate way. I guess they're not like intricate; they're more interesting. I'll say they're not
Okay.
stuff that you haven't seen all that much before. They're not like mind bending or anything like that. But they refresh the mechanics enough to be like, okay, this is fun for the next 20 minutes that I'm doing this, and then we
Sure.
move on to the next thing, right? Um, and then the story wraps up in a way that's like a feast for your eyes, where it's just like you're on a
Sure.
trip. It's kind of crazy, but
What do they give you a premise as to why you're a walking animated lighthouse? No, they just
no,
you just
no,
accept that that's what it
no
is.
talking, no nothing in this whole game. There's no
Okay.
UI. There's
This sounds like a very you
it's
game.
yeah.
And this is
It's
on Game Pass.
yep, yep,
Okay. Hmm.
yeah. It's about 4 or 5 hours or something like that. Um, it very much is like if Double Fine made a journey.
Sure. I was just gonna say it
Yep,
sounds very
it's pretty much
journey-ish.
that. Almost to the point where the end of the game is you finding getting to the top of the mountain.
Huh. Yeah, I'm looking at the art style now. Interesting.
I don't know how you come up with that premise though, because that's what a weird thing to just be like, yeah, this is what Microsoft is doing now, making games like this where you're a lighthouse.
Yeah, even for Double Fine, that's strange.
Yep.
I may have to check that one out. I usually kind of like those sort of like one short journey type games, especially because you can knock them out in a couple nights. And
Yeah, that's pretty much. I think if it was, a 10-hour game, I would have been like, I probably would have fallen off of it.
mm-hmm.
But I stuck to it, and I think the ending's worth it. It really feels fun at the end.
Sure, that's the thing is like with those games, getting the ending right is everything.
Yes.
Like that last one I played, the one that you had talked about, I don't even remember the name, but where it ended up with like the sky whales. I was like, I don't know what this is, and I like this just shit on like my entire gameplay
Yeah.
scenario. Ugh,
Those games they always do something like that where it's just like it's totally off the wall and crazy stuff, right?
yeah.
Um, and some of them they nail it. That one was weird. I will agree with that. Like I don't even know
Yeah.
what's happening here. This is just weird.
I like that this one leads with the crazy though. Like you're just starting out like I'm a walking lighthouse, you know what I mean? Usually it's like
Yeah.
unnamed average human child going through something or, you know.
I
Even Journey is
the,
pretty like normal for the most part until you get into it.
yeah, the end of this one, the keeper is another. I don't know what I'm looking at, but I like what I see.
It's worth
It's
it at
doing some
least.
crazy stuff that I'm having
Okay.
fun with.
Yeah, I'll have to check this out. It sounds kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean the basic mechanic, I guess, is I suppose they pick a lighthouse is because the one stick is you're shining your light around
Oh,
to
sure.
that's the obvious thing.
Do you bounce a lot of stuff off mirrors?
Oh, you know what? I don't know if that happens at all. Which is
Ah,
crazy.
it's like that's every trope with a light in a video
Hmm.
game.
That's probably why they didn't do it. They're like, we're not going to be that game.
I like it. I'll have to look into this. It sounds all right. Then I guess we're at the weekend rental. Um, weekend rental for those unfamiliar, we pick a game for a given system. We'll play through it. Andy and I will, and then we'll give our opinions as to whether we would buy, rent, or burn that game. We are talking about an OG Game Boy game, or I guess it also appears to be Super Game Boy enhanceable.
Mm.
But it's Kirby's Star Stacker. Um, the Game Boy had a lot of mascot puzzle games. I thought I knew which one this was going to be, but this was not a version. You know, most of these are just like copy paste other property with Nintendo mascot, but I think this one wasn't based off of anything I was familiar with. It's
I
a
was trying to figure that out too. Like, is there?
yeah.
I don't know if I've seen this mechanic before
I don't know if I have
in a
either.
puzzle game.
Yeah, you can kind of picture the tone. It feels very much like Kirby's Dream Land in tone and presentation. But you're basically playing, you know, imagine a Tetris field and things fall down and lines move up, but your goal is to eliminate star blocks. You need to collect a certain amount of stars to pass each level. And the way you do that is matching up animals of the same species on either side of these star blocks. So whether it's 1 or 5, as long as you've got like an owl on each end of that, for example, you get to clear all of those blocks. So pretty simple in premise, but pretty addictive. You know, it's a straightforward mechanic. Most of the levels, especially early on, are incredibly short. You can get some combos going by like, you know, you're dropping. It's dropping two animals or two tiles at a time. So if you can pair those up and do like a kind of a combo, you get like some bonus like star bits that fly out from Kirby and kind of chain things.
Yeah, and it's only like 3 animals, and you only have to match 2 of them
Mm-hmm.
for them to clear. So, I mean, it's really easy to find a combo of 2
Yep.
pretty much all the time.
And it
Whether or
does the
not
whole
that helps
Doctor.
you,
Yeah.
it's
And it
another
does
thing.
the whole Dr. Mario mechanic of like you can place one half on a ledge and the other thing will continue to fall or move.
Hmm.
So it's kind of nice because it's like all puzzle mechanics that you should have been very familiar with based on like the Tetrises and the Dr. Marios of the world. It's just got the Kirby flair to it, I guess, is maybe the way to describe it. I didn't.
Yeah.
My only complaint was like I didn't find it overly difficult. Even like as you progress through difficulty, you know, it doesn't necessarily, I wouldn't say get harder as much as it does just take longer to clear.
Hmm.
I didn't really find myself in danger of not clearing a stage ever.
I got to the 3rd stage and immediately died right
Okay.
away, or the 3rd level. It's a huge ramp up in speed
Okay.
on that one. To the point where I'm almost curious to go into the 4th level and see what that even is. That would be like the pro Tetris level people just
Okay.
looking at the next block, I would imagine. But
Yeah, and I only played normal and hard, and I'd cleared both of those.
yeah,
So yeah,
that's
I could see
about
the
that's
speed.
we did the exact same amount because yeah, I tried the next level and it was like nope, this is too hard.
Yeah, it's fun though. Like it's I kind of like how brief each stage is. Even the longer stages are going to take you more than a couple minutes. Like it's perfect from a portable puzzle game standpoint. It's not like, you know, the problem with Tetris on Game Boy was a run, if you were good, is going to be like an hour plus. Where, you know, this you could clear a stage and save your progress and pick it back up. And next time you got back in the car, theoretically, you're back to your room as a kid. So I appreciated that. Um, I would say the big drawback is like you're doing stage clears, you're not really going for high score runs or, you know, point runs. So I don't know what that looks like long term, right? Like once you've gotten through the base content. And maybe there's a different mode that does some of that.
Right, because I mean the first 2 levels, but it's probably like 25 levels altogether, maybe,
That's not a lot.
and you know an average clear time of a minute, maybe.
hmm
So,
Well, and some of those, like on the normal mode, like some of those were like one drop wins. Like there were several stages where like I was done in less than 10 seconds.
yeah, I do appreciate that they were trying to, as you went along, even farther, even as you progressed deeper into the game, there was still some times where they were trying to show you, hey, look at this setup and this strategy to get like a full board clear and wipe and everything.
Yeah.
I I never practiced put those into practice because it seemed extreme the way that they were, like it was almost like the type of games where they would have a pre-setup and then you had to figure out how to clear everything,
Right.
like those type of modes,
Yep.
instead of trying to set that up live in the game seemed would be really weird to do, I think.
When like so did they ever introduce in the one stage you played in like the next level up, do they introduce anything new beyond like that bomb mechanic that eventually comes in? or is that kind of like the last
I don't know.
change?
I honestly couldn't beat the like it is the speed on it increased so much that
Couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
We'll have to try that once we
I-
get done recording.
yeah, it the well on it isn't very big. Obviously, it's a Game Boy
Right.
game, and they're pretty detailed little
Hmm.
blocks and sprites. So there's not much room to maneuver when it really goes fast.
Sure. And then compounded by the fact that King Dedede is like pushing things up from the bottom, I suppose you run out of time pretty quick.
Faster, yeah.
Yeah. That was the thing with like the later stages is like I felt like they drew it out gameplay wise by just like not giving you any like animals to clear stuff. They're just like, oh, you're gonna get like
Hmm.
6 sets of stars that you now have to place in your way. It's
Yeah,
just like I don't know if that's great game design. You're just like drawing this out for the sake of doing it.
yeah. You know, between that and I think the biggest problem with the game is that it punishes you for having very little on the board.
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
you need
because
options, right?
yeah, you can't do anything when you have smaller stuff on the board. And then it's really painful that if you have very little on the board, especially with no stars really, or you know, having animals
Mm-hmm.
really spread out, the um the combos, which when you get a combo, you get that many number of stars that fall into the well from the
Mm-hmm.
top. Usually stars come from the bottom. They come from the top, but randomly, I think. I don't know if you're able to spot place them where you want them to go. I very rarely, I was doing combos all the time, and I very rarely had them turn
Work out.
into something. They would just
Yeah.
slam down from the top and then don't do anything
Yeah, I
because
noticed that
it didn't
too.
match anything.
Yeah, they like just kind of plink off your screen uneventfully,
Yeah,
which isn't very
which
sad.
is
Like it doesn't incentivize you then to do anything more than like 1 star clears. You know what I mean?
right.
It's like I'll just
Yep.
grind this out rather than set up something intelligent.
Yep. That's kind of what it turned into. And that's what I was curious about if it gets harder, where if you probably don't have the time to just sit there and be like, well, I got a star and a bird. I'll just put this on top of the bird and clear the bird, you know,
Right.
clear 1 star out.
Yep.
The number that you need to clear is probably too high to make that happen. I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd be curious. Like, obviously, it looked like there was like I think there was a split screen or like link mode, potentially. I think that might be kind of where this game would really shine because it's simple
Hmm.
enough that I could see the head to head being kind of fun.
Yeah. I wonder what that does if it dumps junk on the other side or if you still just
Right.
get the star stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised by this game. Like, I went in with pretty low expectations, thinking it was just going to be a reskin of maybe a Puyo Puyo or something I'd seen before, and
Hmm.
it's definitely better than like when you compare it to like a Yoshi's Cookie or something, which I always found those games to be pretty clunky and not super satisfying. This one is it's not Tetris or Dr. Mario, but it's good enough to be in the conversation, at least like behind those in my mind. And I like
Yeah.
the cute Kirby presentation, you know, the Kirby dance and like the cutscenes and everything was very adorable as Kirby stuff is.
Yeah.
And the music's good.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. And the animals are the, you know, the Dreamland buddies that you get,
Yep.
which is cool.
I mean, you're destroying them in horrific fashion. They're here to sacrifice for you, Kirby, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was definitely a game that I was not expecting. I like you said, I thought it would be like, well, it's some mechanic that I've seen before. You know, it's just going to be another puzzle version of how many times have they made Puyo Puyo or Tetris Attack into something else, right?
yep.
But so I
Yeah.
was surprised by that for sure. Yeah.
So, what do you think you'd give it then on the buy red and burn scale?
I don't know if I can do a buy on it because I felt that the combo system didn't reward me. And
Sure.
oftentimes having it, you know, trying to clear the board too much actually hurt me to the point where it'd be like, well, the only stars I was getting was the stuff that was coming from the blocks that I was getting instead of, because otherwise you have to wait for what comes up on the bottom. And
And then
then
hope that's
that's not
good.
going to clear
Right.
because you need 3 of them, right? For the most part. So you have to wait 2 lines to come up if your
Right.
board's pretty much empty. So that part, I mean, complain about how long it takes, I guess, when these levels are a minute long, I
Right.
guess. But uh, I see why they would do that. Otherwise, I suppose if it was constant being able to throw down, um, I guess toward the end of where I was playing, they were giving you just double stars and throwing you stars in the middle, where so you were able to create more stuff on the board as you went. Um, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go at a very high rent for me.
Yeah, I I think I'd bump it personally to a buy just because I was impressed enough and surprised enough by it. I could see like dusting this off every once in a while and just dropping an hour or so into it and then walking away. I think there's it doesn't have the replayability of like a Tetris, but I think it's got a solid enough gameplay mechanic, and that like if it's something you just picked up once every few months, once you forgot like, well, because I mean those levels are all static, right? I don't imagine they randomly generate, so I think you're probably doing like the same base
Yeah.
layouts. So it's like you're gonna memorize that if you play it too much, but I think it could be fun in that regard, just having your catalog and pop it in on occasion and have a good time for an hour or so, and I like Kirby, so that doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, outside of, Dr. Mario and Tetris, I don't know if there would be another thing above that I'd want. I
Yeah.
guess I do like a lot of those modes that are the puzzle modes where you have to figure out how you drop 2 blocks or something in the right spots to clear everything. Those are interesting to me more than a lot of the live gameplays on
Hmm.
some of those games. Um,
I really like
yeah.
Wario's Woods. I think that one gets overlooked too much.
Hmm.
I don't think it's it's there's too much like platformy slippery controls in that though to like feel like you're ever as in control. But yeah, I think this is a very good Nintendo mascotted puzzle game
Hmm.
overall for the hardware that it's on, obviously.
Yep.
I think like you talked about though and like touched on like some of the shallowness of like the deeper mechanics is what maybe holds it back from being a much better game.
Yeah. I wonder if they turned it into. I bet they tried to do this game as a match 3, because I mean that's a lot of things
That's the thing, right? Yeah.
that if it just broke the game where it was like this is unplayable with a match 3, you know,
Yeah,
that they
especially
had to
with like
do.
you said how big those objects are. There's just not enough room on the screen to
Hmm.
maneuver three. Yeah.
Yeah, because oftentimes you'll get like a block of like 2 fish, and it's like, well, wherever you put this, it's gonna
Right. In
it's
my
just gonna
way
go away
indefinitely. Yeah. Oh,
unless
that's
you
true.
split
Yeah,
it.
because it does.
You
Yeah.
can
Right.
split it, I guess, but
Yeah. I didn't think about that. Yeah. It's an interesting one though. Like one I
mhm,
was not on my radar at all. So,
no,
but I guess that's another episode, huh?
it is, and we discovered 2 good Kirby era games
Yeah.
this week. So
That's shocking.
uh, the balance is starting to even out, I think.
It's coming back around.
Yeah. You can contact us at weekendrentalpodcast@gmail.com. Also, we do a movie podcast on the Geekade Patreon, exclusively on there. They have you get access to a lot of other great geeky podcasts on there. So I think it's totally worth it besides our podcast. But I think this one might be worth the month's subscription to
Maybe.
hear the gem that we are going to review. So
Yeah. It's very holiday themed. You won't want to miss it.
yes, yes. But until next time, be kind, rewind.